What was yours?
So it's been a while since we did one of these. They thought your done son was done son, but nope. It's all fun. It's all fun in the sun till you end up on this week's You're Done Son. So we got to talk about this one thing, that's been running prevalent throughout the league. It's been killing people. The bigger markets have just been going crazy. The smaller markets have been blocking trades since CP3 tried to go to the Lakers. You know what I mean? And this week's You're Done Son goes to the super teams. Definition of a super team, it's an elite team with two or more elite players, at least one of whom is acquired because they already became elite. That's what you think about when you think about a super team, because most people want to talk about these homegrown teams. Like, look, when you out and about, fast food, it's a quick fill me up, but nothing beats that home cooking, that good Thanksgiving meal. You come home from a long hard day at work, wifey got some food for you, like, man, got that big piece of chicken. It fills you up more than that 3-piece, and that's what these GMs be thinking. They think you can grab a 3-piece fries and a biscuit, and that's the way to go. However, they forget you need a drink, because if you get a biscuit from Popeyes, they gonna do what most of these super teams have done: choke. You just gonna choke, bro. For a while, people thought the trend started with LeBron, D Wade, and Chris Bosh. Nope. This team, the super team, actually started back in 1968 when Wilt Chamberlain joined Jerry West and Elgin Baylor to the Los Angeles Lakers. That's when it actually started.
Yeah, Tomo.
And guess what happened there? They lost to the Celtics 3-4 in that finals. Super teams didn't work then.
Bill Russell.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? But despite that happening, teams kept trying to copy and paste. Some people did some homegrown things, some people didn't. But you had a couple teams that were successful at creating these super teams. Take it to 2008 Celtics. Then you got the 2012, 2013 Miami Heat. Then you got the 2017 and 2018 Warriors. Those teams actually won. But along the way, there were other teams that tried. And just for you all that don't remember, right? You got the 2012 Lakers. Y'all remember that team? That was Gary Payton, Karl Malone. Then you got the 2013 Nets. We all know what happened there.
Oh, my gosh.
Then you got the 2017 OKC. Playoff P. That's what he called himself. Melo wasn't feeling that. Then you got the 2019 Clippers. Some would say that really wasn't a super team because it's only Paul George and Kawhi. But they tried. Then you got the 21 Nets. Then they tried to run it back in 2022. The Nets again. Then now you got the Phoenix Suns, who are really not understanding that the trailblazing path that they're trying to go upon again is going to lead to failure. Because when you think about it, majority of the teams that won a finals were from homegrown products. Take it the last 3 years, you have the Bucks, the Warriors, and then you have the Denver Nuggets, all homegrown products. Even with that Warriors run where they tried to say that was a super team, they added Kevin Durant, but majority of that team came from home cooking. So what this new CBA did, they said, you know what? We're going to stop the Warriors from continuing that homegrown cooking, and we're just going to stop other teams in these big markets from adding players with this luxury tax rule. Because if you're already winning, then you could just pay the luxury tax and keep adding to this winning foundation. However, for these smaller markets, we need to stop this. So they added this thing called a tax apron. And if you go above the tax apron, you now have to pay, I think, $1 million more, which you actually went over. And if you try to bring in people off of a trade and you try to do that, when you bring in league minimum, league exception, you try to bring somebody in on that, they're like, how much money ever went out the door? You have to replace that. But if you replace that and it goes over this luxury tax, then yes, you're going to bump into the second apron. And that's why you see a lot of these teams just finding ways to finesse the system now. The NBA is becoming what the NFL is doing. They're finding ways to move money. But it's going to be tough because everybody wants to get paid. And if I see Jordan Poole can make 20 to 30 mil a year, then if I'm Draymond Green, then I know I need 40 mil because I helped this team. So for the GMs out there who thought life was easy and you could just go build a super team and make it to the championship, and for the players who thought you could just say, hey, I'm taking my talents down to South Beach, then that's the only thing that's going to be going to South Beach because you ain't going with them no more with this new CBA. Super teams, yeah, done, son.
100% agree with everything you said. Now, I wouldn't say that OKC with Paul George and the rest, but that wasn't a super team. That wasn't a single team. But anyways, I agree with everything you said, man. Like you look at the teams who won, they've been homegrown, except for 3 teams. When I say homegrown, I mean like the Lakers weren't homegrown, but that wasn't a super team either, right? But super teams that actually work, like you said, Miami Heat, Boston, and the Warriors. You explain the Warriors. Kevin Durant is walked into a homegrown team. Miami Heat, you have the second best player, top 2 player of all time in the middle of that big 3, right? So you're going to win because you got the best player in the league right there, plus the third best player in the league probably, and somebody else, right? And the Boston Celtics, you had 3 players in their prime, the peak of their primes that never won. Like, where you ever found that? 3 players in the peak of their prime that never won, and they fit perfectly. Your shooter, your defensive player who can shoot a mid-range jump shot, plus your scorer. Like, come on. So what defensive players around them? So outside of those 3, none has worked. I believe the one super team that could have worked, but injuries derailed them, were the Brooklyn Nets. I still think if the Brooklyn Nets never got hurt that first year with James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and KD, I believe they would have beat Milwaukee. Then they would have ran through the Suns, I believe, and the Hawks. So, but outside of that, I'm 100% with you, Tom.
No comments for me. All I gotta say is super teams, like Tomo said, you're done, son. So, KD, this pretty much aimed at you. It seems like everywhere you go, you're trying to build a team.
Tom, hold on.
That is true. That's true. No, he didn't want to take the interview with the Wizards, so this might be at him. Yeah, you should pick up the phone, man.
Hey, JMO put it in the comment. Hey, so basically, Kevin Durant's done. So it's pretty much for you, KD. I mean,
yeah, the only one. Son.
You got Bradley Beal on your team now. You Devin Booker already there. You got DeAndre Ayton, who was a top pick in the NBA, number 1 overall pick. Well, go win a ring. You got a full off season now. You don't win a ring, then that for me that goes against, what you've done in your career. So, great job, Tomo.
Thanks, fellas. Now we can go home.
Yeah,
like these super teams.
Yeah, great. Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.